Hi there, and welcome to the fourth episode of Kitty Quarter Media. My name is Lisette, and today I have a special book for you. It's one for older kids. I read it myself in middle school, and it all started a day with my family out at a cafe, but it was also the time where I could really understand the concept that books can be more than just a magical portal to a new place and have adventures and have fun and enjoy oneself, but be a source of really interesting conversations that you can have with your kids, with other adults, with anybody. And it all started on a weekend, just a typical weekend. Me and my family were out and about. We went to a little cafe. I decided to sit down. I pulled out a newspaper. I had a little hot chocolate with me. I was feeling very adult. And I read an article about this book and its writer. And the book is called Briar by Jane Yolen. Now, before I go into a bit more about it, um, the article was talking about how this book was being banned, and there wasn't even a book burning of it. And at this point, remember, I was raised very differently about books, so I could not understand the concept. Why would they burn a book? I couldn't understand, and I showed Mom the article. We tried talking about it, and because one side character happened to be homosexual. Didn't understand, though. I was like, okay, there's a character who's homosexual. I get what that means, but why is that an issue? So there she is, trying to explain something to a child that is hard even for adults to understand. Trying to explain types of prejudice, types of thoughts, right or wrong, left or right. It didn't matter what my mom was trying to say. She was saying this is just a complicated situation. And she's having this open conversation. And of course, I'm still a kid. So after she explains all of this as beautifully and as wonderfully as she can, I looked at her and I'm like, that's really stupid. Who cares if this character is a certain way? It's a book. And it's apparently a beautiful book because I'm reading also reviews of this book. And a gentleman came up to us and said to my mom, thank you for teaching your child this. Maybe people would hate us less if they did. If they taught more like your child, you're doing for your child. He thanked us and he left. And both me and my mom looked at each other. We're like, we have to find this book. So we went to 4 or 5 different bookstores looking for it, and we did. I have a newer copy now, but because that original copy was loved to shreds. And beyond the one side character that sparked the conversation, this is a beautiful story, a haunting story about the Holocaust. And it led to so many other wonderful, complex, hard conversations I had with my family. The basic premise of this book is a family, a young girl, young woman. Unfortunately, her grandmother is about to pass away. And the only thing she knows about her grandmother is this very different tale of Sleeping Beauty. Very different because it doesn't follow the normal format. At the end, only Sleeping Beauty wakes up. Everybody else is left behind and things like that. And she never understood why her grandmother told this different story, but she loved it. It meant something to her because it meant something to her grandmother. But after her grandmother passes away, she decides, I don't really know much about my grandmother's life. I know she was Jewish. I knew she lived here. I knew she immigrated to the United States, but I don't know much else. And she goes on a journey to learn about her grandmother's past, only to find out that this story, this different take on Sleeping Beauty, it was her grandmother's way of expressing her experience during the Holocaust to her grandkids in a safe way, in a manner that they could understand without scaring them. And it led to so many more conversations, me wanting to learn more about the history, because up until then, yes, I learned about World War One. I knew about the numbers, the dates, but I didn't understand the impact of this situation, of this time frame. This book gave me an outlet to start exploring the emotional part of the Holocaust. This book gave me an idea of wanting to learn as much as I can about human life and human experience, and how those past traumatic events in one family member's life can ripple down in generations, all beautifully demonstrated by this book, Briar Rose for Jane Yolen. So, if you have an older student, older kid, and it's time to start teaching about the human part of the Holocaust, and you have the opportunity to use this book, I highly recommend it. It was beautiful. It changed my life in a way that I didn't expect, and it gave me inspiration to wanting to do what I'm doing now as a big part of it. So, that's the book today, Briar Rose. Again, it is something dealing with Holocaust, passing away, tragedy. It is something for older kids, but it might be something worth reading together. Just my suggestion. The rest of you have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pass on that positivity.